So what was the lesson you learned today?
We got to bring our cores with us when we travel on a road trip.
Especially when you go to like a national park or in those areas,
Yeah.
You got to make sure you bring them. Greetings, salutations, thanks for joining me for another video. Today we are starting out on a long travel day, probably 12-hour travel day. I just left Austin about an hour and 20 minutes ago, and I'm headed west back out to Las Vegas. This has been kind of a week-long tour from Nashville out to Vegas. And so I went the first night to Hot Springs, Arkansas. I went second through fifth night I spent in Austin, Texas, and then I just left. Tonight will be near White Sands National Park in New Mexico, and then tomorrow I'm on to a friend's place in the Phoenix, Arizona area, and then heading up to Las Vegas. So yeah, long travel day, probably about 12 hours today. Probably got about 10, 11 more. 5 superchargers along the way, I think, from this one, so I think 6 in total. Yeah, so it's going to be a long day, but I left early. I got up at 5:45, left about 6:45, 7 o'clock, and it's about 8:30 now. So try to get a jump on things and get out there and travel as much as possible during the day. Weather seems like it's going to be pretty decent in the 50s and 60s, maybe even the 70s in a few areas, so that should be really nice. And it's showing about 3 minutes remaining. So as I just mentioned, most of these ones here going through like West Texas and New Mexico are 150 kilowatt chargers, so they're a little bit slower. Not too bad though. They're still considered fast chargers. Instead of maybe like a 15 or 20 minute charging session, it could be like a 25-30 minute charging session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop at each of them along the way, since they're all 150. Instead of trying to stretch them out, then it ends up being like a 40-50 minute charging session, and that's no fun for anyone. So I just do quick ones. Like this one ended up being probably around a 15-minute charging session. It wanted me initially to stay till I think 45-50 minutes, but if I went to the other charger that they didn't want me to stop at and go there, it was only like a 15-minute charging session, and then another 15-minute at that one. So each of these will probably be about 15-20 minute charging sessions. It just sometimes makes sense to just do the shorter, quicker charging sessions, especially when the superchargers are right off the interstate. I'd rather wait 15 minutes than 45 minutes. So, all right, so it says 2 minutes remaining to continue trip. I will probably take off right when it says that. It says currently I'll get to the Junction, Texas Supercharger with 17%. So I'm going to take off right when it says. All right, so it just said I have enough energy to continue my trip, so I'll hit OK. And then let's go on hook and take off. All right, and let's look at the charging session there. Here in Llano, Texas, that was $11.16. I was here maybe, 15 minutes or so. All right, let's get on to, what's the next stop? Junction, Texas Supercharger. All right, and it currently says we will arrive with 24% at the Junction, Texas Supercharger. Looks like an hour and 13 minutes, 76 miles. All right, I'll see you there. right, just getting to the Junction, Texas Supercharger.
In 1,000 feet, your destination will be on the right. Now your destination is on the right.
All right, these are 150 kilowatt superchargers. So we will make sure to pull into one on our own number. All right, so just arrived at the Junction, Texas Supercharger with 16%. It said we were gonna have 24%, so it was a little bit off. It was kind of like a back road that was, you know, like a secondary highway. It was probably, I mean, it was between 60 and 75 miles an hour on there, but it was definitely quite hilly. I don't know, might have used a little extra charge there. Says we have 20 minutes remaining. We gotta add about 25-30%, and then we should be good to go on to Azono, Texas. I'm gonna run inside, hit the bathroom, grab a couple snacks, and I'll see you before I head out. All right, so we got about 5 minutes left to continue trip. We're still getting close to 100 kilowatts in, even though this is 150. I was getting right at full speed. Got somebody on this side on the right, got somebody on the left. Everybody did their part and kept at least on separate charging numbers. You want to make sure, kind of see the number right there, like that's 2A that he's on. And so you don't want to be on number 2 if you're on a 150 kilowatt charger. You want to make sure that you're not on the same number so that you can get the full amount. Otherwise you end up splitting it. And so, like, let's say we were on the same number, like he's on 2A and I was on 2B. I'd only be getting probably around 75 the whole time. Or even, you know, when I would be getting the fastest charging, I'd only be capping out at 75. Whereas now, because I'm on my own number, I'm still getting like 90. Just makes things go a little faster. It's only an issue on 150 and lower. Anything, you know, the 250 version 3 superchargers, don't have to worry about that. They're all independent. There we go. Got enough to continue.
10 west ramp on the left.
So we're gonna go ahead and hit OK and then go unhook. Tennessee, I'm getting good at it. All right, so that charging session, nothing. I haven't seen anything pop up on my Apple Card on my iPhone either. I've had this happen yesterday too. I had a free one. I don't know why. But all right, on to the next one. I will see you in Azono, Texas in about an hour and 11 minutes or 90 miles. Oh, and it says that I should have around 12%. I'm imagining it's going to be less than that, but still should be plenty of buffer.
Now take the Interstate 10 west ramp on the left.
And the speed limit is 80 here, as you can see coming up on the right. So I have it set probably around 81, 82, and have autopilot on. Oh, and one more quick thing. You know, like I mentioned a second ago that it was 80 miles an hour here. I have autopilot set at 82. That is gonna burn a little bit more energy. Anything pretty much over 75 and you're really gonna take a bit of a hit. It's not too bad. It says I'll get there with 15%. So that's actually, I think, 3% more than it said when I left. We'll see how that ends up shaking out over the next hour. But yeah, 82 miles an hour. It's nice today too. There's nobody on the road, which is kind of nice. All right, so as I'm driving here, I actually noticed on my iPhone, my Apple Card showed that it was $11.10 for that last charge. Don't know why it had a little few minute delay there, but yeah, $11.10. Just a little quick update as we're mid-drive here. Just under an hour left to Azono, Texas Supercharger. One of the things though I did want to mention is that doing these short little bursts like this of an hour to an hour and a half, it also breaks up the drive quite a bit. You don't feel like you're on a 3-hour stretch or anything like that. Being able to just get out, stretch your legs, get a bite to eat, you know, a little snack, or even just hit the restroom. It just breaks up the, you know, just the long drives, and I think keeps you more alert, and I just enjoy it a lot more. So I don't mind stopping like on these like every hour to hour and a half. And you know, then the charging sessions are only like 15 minutes, maybe 20 at most. And I like that. So unfortunately, these are all 150 kilowatt chargers. Works for me, but just kind of wanted to mention that as it was something I was thinking about while I was driving here. Otherwise, just enjoying the view. It's starting to get a little more like rocky and mountainous, and so that's always nice. The West is so much cooler than the East Coast. It just is. There's way less people, way more open land, and more scenic views, and I like that.
Now you have arrived at your destination.
I've actually been to this one before. Yep. What's back there? Anything? I'm gonna check. All right, let's get charged up in Azona, Texas. All right, just got to Azona, Texas. I got here with 13%. It said we'd get here, I think, with 12. And so pretty much right on target. We need to charge about 20 minutes. All right, so I'm gonna get charging and then head inside for a minute to hit the bathroom. All right, so we are at a 150 kilowatt charger. And I was hoping, that this person would not park next to me, and they are not. So I am on my own number, so don't have to worry about splitting power with anybody. And so we should definitely get over 70. Yep, up to 115, 141. All right, I'm gonna get charging here for about 20, 25 minutes, and then we'll be on our way to Fort Stockton, Texas. All right, so just got the alert that we're ready to go, have enough charge. That handle's warm. All right, so that charge got up to 70%. That was $13.90 here in Azona, Texas. Says next stop, Fort Stockton, Texas. And it's about 90 minutes away, 107 miles. And should arrive with around 7%. That's so funny because it just said I would arrive with like 17% right before I unhooked. Weird, but said I had enough, so let's go.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know,
It looks like we got a Tesla delivery in front of us. And somewhere, probably from Texas, just like me.
Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down. Jumping.
All right, so got here to Fort Stockton, Texas, to the Supercharger. Wants me to charge around 30 minutes. I ended up arriving with 8%. I think initially it said 17% when I disconnected, and then it dropped down to like 8 or 9%. about 5 minutes after leaving. So ended up being right around that. Plenty of cushion. Probably could have went another 50 miles or so. After that, looks like Van Horn, Texas is the one next. And then El Paso, I think. This is 2 more after this one, I think. Van Horn, 2 hours and 5 minutes, 121 miles left. Let's get charging up. This is another 150 kilowatt station. They all pretty much are along this route right here. I'm not on a number with anybody else, so I should be getting the full charge. About 133 kilowatts in, so that's good. It says it wants me to charge for about 30 minutes. I'm gonna run inside, hit the bathroom, and grab some Subway. All right, so have enough to continue charge. It says we're gonna have 7% at least when I get there. We'll see how accurate that is. Next stop is Van Horn, Texas, I believe, Supercharger, and should be getting into New Mexico not long after that. All right, let's go get unhooked. Again, plenty of room back here. It's been pretty good. There's plenty of width, so the box can go in between. All right, that charge was $18.24. Next stop, hour and 40 minutes, 120 miles. Should arrive with 8%. And I will see you in Van Horn, I think Texas.
Exit 138 on the right. In 500 feet, you will arrive at your destination.
All right, looks like to be over here at the Hampton Inn on the left. All right, this is the Van Horn, Texas Supercharger. Been to all these, I think, before. I believe another 150 kilowatt. All right, just got to the Van Horn, Texas Supercharger. Wants me to charge for about 25 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and hook up real quick so I can get that going. Ended up arriving with 10%. I think it was right around there. It said like 8% or something like that. Pretty accurate there. I think I have probably about 3 hours left and I'll be at the hotel. It says 3:30 up here, but it's actually 2:30. For some reason, the Tesla hasn't changed over yet to mountain time, but my watch has. All right, I'm gonna go get hooked up. All right, charging's getting going. Yep, and we're over the 74 kilowatts, which is good. That means we're not on the same number as somebody else. Left a space in between, and so I think I'm on 2A. And he's on 3A. I'm getting the full 137 right now. All right, I'm gonna run inside. We'll catch up with you when I get ready to take off.
Everybody loves the sunshine.
Carried my suitcase through the rain. I put my heart through a hurricane.
All right, so one more stop before getting to the hotel tonight. That is the El Paso, Texas Supercharger, right on the border there of New Mexico. And so basically, once I get there, I'll go through El Paso, I'll get to the Supercharger, then I have to drive north here to White Sands, and there's no chargers up here except for maybe one third-party charger. I think it's like a 50 or 74 kilowatt. I'll have to look again on PlugShare. There's one right there. I think it's like 8 minutes, it said, from my hotel. So I'll go ahead and try that when I get up there. But otherwise, yeah, there's nothing there. And I'm hopeful that that does work. I want to be able to, in the morning, when I take off, go there for a little bit. But I want to be able to actually then jump back on 10 here and just go. If not, and there is no charger up there, I'll have to come over here and then all the way back down, probably like an hour, and then charge again. That's one of the downfalls right now of having an EV, is that national parks need, I have no idea why they don't, but they need Tesla chargers in all of them. Tesla has the most vast, reliable EV charging network by far. It's 9-to-1 right now. Like, it's that much better than Electrify America or ChargePoint or any of the other ones, but no national parks have them, or state parks either, and it makes zero sense. You would think for the environment it would make more sense to have those there. No gas pollution. Hopefully they put those in soon. So yeah, I'm gonna hopefully be able to charge up near White Sands and then just jump on 10 again, heading west toward Phoenix tomorrow. All right, got about another 10 minutes or so of charging, and then we are out of here. All right, so got enough charge to continue. Yeah, we're down, tapered all the way down to about 46 kilowatts going in right now. I have got about 2 hours and 5 minutes, 131 miles, and should arrive with, it says 18%, although it'll probably be a little less than that. Let's go on hook and take off. All right, that last charge, $18.09. All right, I will see you at the last supercharger of the night, which will be in El Paso, Texas.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go.
Now your destination is on the right.
All right, finally got to El Paso Supercharger. It's 5:06 p.m. That is correct to Mountain Time. Got here with about 16%. We're gonna probably go pretty high here. It's actually all full. I took the last spot. They'll say it's, you can only go to 80 unless you manually push it to 100, which I did because I think I'm gonna need it, because I might need it tomorrow to get back. But I'm gonna take a look at all that in a second, and then I will let you guys know. All right, so I went up as much as I was getting right now, so 87%. I didn't want to wait any longer. I'm gonna have to, when I got plenty to get there. I should get there with probably, what does it say, 38%. Then I'm gonna have to figure out where to charge tomorrow, because the one place that says they do have charging and that's right in that area does not open until I think 9 a.m. and I needed to leave about 7:38. So we'll see, but I'm gonna go ahead and head out. Let's see what that charge cost. That was $17.18. Let's get out of here and get to Alamogordo. We're gonna be going past White Sands National Park on the way up. Not gonna be able to see anything, it's night, but in the morning, hopefully coming back this way. I'm gonna stop and go through the park a little bit if I have enough charge, and we'll take a look, and it's supposed to be pretty amazing. All right, so I have 74%, but I'm a little worried that I'm not gonna have a place up there to charge because everything's gonna be closed. So I'm going to this Borman Hyundai, which apparently has a fast charger, and I'm gonna see if I can fast charge. They're open till 8 and it's 6:20 p.m. right now. So I figured this might be my last chance to charge up to like 95% or something. I'm gonna go ahead and just take that opportunity and do that. All right, well, this is it.
Now turn right onto Bounce Place.
Now I'm gonna check PlugShare app and see exactly where it is. CCS. Okay. This cord is ridiculous. All right, I heard it click. It's charging. That was easy. Literally just plugged in the CCS adapter. I tapped my phone to the screen. All right, well, yeah, I mean, we have 73. I'm just gonna let it go to like 90, 95, because I have about an hour and 15 minutes drive there, and then I need enough to get back just in case. We'll let her charge. And so it says 45 minutes remaining to get to 100%. Hopefully I don't have to wait that long. I'm cool with waiting 30 minutes because that'll at least give me enough to stay overnight. I should be able to have Sentry mode on at the hotel, then drive through for about a half hour, 45 minutes in the morning through White Sands National Park, because that's on the way back, and then kind of come back toward this area and charge up again if I need to get onto the next supercharger. But that was as seamless as I've seen so far compared to obviously Tesla, which you don't have to do anything. You already have an account. Every charger knows it's your car when you plug in. There's nothing on there's no screens or anything like that. You just get out of your car, then plug it into the car, and that's it. There's nothing else to do. It just charges your credit card on file, and that was it. So this is the closest I've seen to that, where literally all I had to do is just open the app, tap the screen, plug in, and I was good to go, all in 15-20 seconds. All right, well, I'm gonna let it charge here for probably about 30 minutes and then head to the hotel. All right, so according to PlugShare, they said don't use this one, it'll only do 30. That one will do 60. So I'm gonna pull forward, I'm gonna disconnect, pull forward, and then do it over there. One thing I have noticed that people say is to make sure that you stop charging from the screen if you're on a third-party one like that. So let's try that. Well, and somebody arrived literally as I unplugged. So I guess I'm stuck at 30 kilowatts right now. Yay! It's only 6:35, so it's not too late, but gonna get it going. All right, so the other guy left, and I moved over to this one, which is what everybody on PlugShare said to use. They said it was twice as fast. Yeah, so already getting 51. The other one would top out at 30. Super annoying, but I'm gonna charge up to like 95% and then get out of here. All right, so stuck around a little bit longer, ended up charging up to 97%. I'm only getting 20 kilowatts in now, so I'm gonna go unhook, and I wasn't in any hurry, so I was like, I'll stick around an extra, 15 minutes. Hour and 9 minutes to the hotel and 70 miles, and I should have plenty to get back now and even explore a little bit. So I'm gonna take off. Let's go unhook. Make sure to hit the stop charging button on the screen. That's all done. It was only $3.70, and the one over there was only like $1 or something. Super cheap. And yeah, it just charged to my Apple Card. That's what I had on file. All right, I'm gonna go and put this back in the frunk, and then we're out of here. All right, time to go check in and eat and go to bed. All right, so that was kind of fun. Ended up running into a couple that has a Tesla. They have a Model Y here at the hotel. As you know, throughout this video, I've been kind of stressing about like not having chargers in this area. They ended up arriving with like 30%. And like 5 minutes after I check into my room, I end up getting a phone call from the front desk, and they just said, hey, we noticed that you put down that you have a Tesla on here. We have a couple that's having some issues. They don't have anywhere to charge, and they didn't bring any charging cables. None, not the mobile connector, nothing. And there's obviously no superchargers in this area, and only one CCS. They don't even have a CCS adapter or anything with. What I ended up doing is we walked around the back side of the hotel and found that there was an outlet out there. And so we went and, cleared it with the hotel. We plugged in. I gave them my mobile charger till the morning. So they're gonna get I don't know, maybe like 10 hours, something like that. So they might get like 35 miles maybe, but it'll help. So that'll get them to like 70, and they should be able to maybe make it back then to a supercharger. But it was just kind of funny. Here's a little video when we were outside getting everything taken care of, and they were asking me if they could, you know, give me any money or pay for lunch or something like that. And I was like, nah, don't worry about it. And they were super funny about it all.
Yeah.
All right, well, you got to be in the video now. So what's your name?
I'm Jay.
Jay? Brian?
Hey, Brian. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, and we
This is my wife,
Sheila.
I'm so
Yep.
glad I went and changed my clothes.
So what was the lesson you learned today?
We got to bring our cars with us when we travel on a road trip.
Especially when you go to like a national park or in those areas,
Yeah.
you got to make sure you bring them.
Also, luck is very important, apparently.
Yes, and I just
Yeah.
happened to check in.
Yeah.
You can meet someone like Brian on the way if you're like totally out of luck in every other
All
option.
right, but we're all set here, so yeah, I think that's it. So just hopefully nobody steals it. And remember, anytime you're going to travel with your electric vehicle, make sure you have not only your adapters, but your mobile charging cable. They had nothing. So lesson learned, I'm sure. And they just happened to check into a hotel with a YouTuber who has a Tesla. Kind of odd, huh? All right, well, I am exhausted. It's almost 10 p.m. All right, guys, I'll see you in the morning.
I think yesterday when we started, we were at 83.
Can I open it?
Yeah.
I just want to see.
Yeah, now we're at...
Oh, you're 43.
Yeah, so it went from 26 yesterday to 43.
So what's the plan?
Actually more than... Oh, this will get us to the charger in Las Cruces,
Okay.
which is like only 53 miles away. Little tips and tricks I'm learning along the way, but I really appreciate you.
Yeah, no
Good luck
problem.
with the rest of the trip here, Brian.
All right, thanks, buddy. You too. All right, that's cool. Jay and Sheila got their charge that they needed to get back to Las Cruces. Come on, Tesla. We got to get some more superchargers near national parks. All right, let's head over to that third party, I think it's a ChargePoint charger, and see if we can get in there and get some charge going so that we can easily go explore White Sands National Park. All right, so it's on this road, I believe off to the right, because we're 1 minute away. It is open to drive in.
Now your destination is on the right.
I think I see it. Yep. All right, let's hope that it's on. It looks like it's on. All right, let's see if we can get charged up. All right, so I got plugged in and I opened the ChargePoint app and tapped right here, and it didn't say anything. It just said, do you want to start charging? And I said yes. And so it said plug in your car using my CCS adapter, and now it's charging. I'm only getting 31 kilowatts right now, but at least it's charging. So I'm gonna sit here for about 15-20 minutes, get a little bit of a charge. Oh, there it's going up a little bit. And it was open, so that is nice. All right, so been charging for, I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes or so, up to 62%. And I'm just gonna stick around a little bit longer. And I don't even know if I really need to, but I figure I might as well. Charging up, no problems. Worked with the ChargePoint app, so that's good. I think my goal here is to get to 85%. I'm at 79. Once I'm at 85, I feel comfortable enough to take off. All right, I'm now up to 85%. It's been a little over 30 minutes. Again, annoying, but you know what? When you're in a remote area like this, there's not a lot you can do. This just emphasizes the importance of having your adapters with you. Have your mobile charger with you, and then of course, always have your adapters. I have plenty of videos on that, from camping videos to just, you know, my CCS video. All those go into everything you need to have. And in the case of like Jay and Sheila from the hotel last night, like even having the little 515 wall adapter, you know, it helped them in a pinch. All right, I'm gonna go unhook, and I should have plenty. Shows me getting to White Sands National Park Visitor Center with 80%, and then getting to the Deming, New Mexico Supercharger with 23%. So that should be plenty. All right, still going. You can see up to 86%, still getting in 38 kilowatts. It hasn't said how much it's gonna cost or anything yet, but I guess I'll find that out in a minute. Take that off. There we go, got that off. All right, so charging is finished. I don't know if there was any charge for that or not, but I guess I'll check my card. All right, let's get on the way to White Sands National Park. Okay, just real quick before I take off for White Sands, I did just look at the ChargePoint app, and I think it was around $12.46, something like that, to charge up. So that's great. I mean, I ended up going from like 56% up to 87%. You know, a little more expensive than Tesla charging would be, but in a pinch like this, who cares? It's like so light. This is what you hope every beach to have. Wow. All right, well, I guess this is a pretty fitting end to the video here in White Sands National Park. I just want to thank you guys if you made it this far. It was a fun trip. I got a couple more days left on it before getting back to Las Vegas. But yeah, look at these amazing views. So cool. Well, again, I really appreciate you watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next travel, quick tip, or review video. Thanks for watching.